Nestled in the mountainous, forest-covered region north of Sakarya, Assam village emanated an aura of mystery. On misty mornings, its wooden houses perched between rocky hills resembled ghost ships. Wandering through the village's narrow streets, one could sense unseen eyes watching. Years ago, Assam village was a peaceful haven. Villagers worked their fields, herded their animals, and lived in harmony with nature. But one day, everything changed. Ali, one of the village's most respected shepherds, had a heated argument with his neighbor Hassan. Blinded by rage, Ali cursed Hassan with a chilling vow: the curse of Assam will haunt you and your loved ones forever. That night, eerie occurrences plagued the village. The wind howled, the sky darkened, and strange noises emanated from the houses. Fear gripped the villagers, who huddled in their homes. The next morning, those who went to Ali's house were met with a horrifying scene. Ali and his entire family lay lifeless, no wounds visible, but their faces frozen in terror. After this incident, bizarre events unfolded in Assam village one after another. Animals disappeared, crops withered, children fell ill. The villagers believed they were being punished by Assam's curse. Consumed by fear and desperation, the villagers abandoned their homes one by one. Soon, Assam village became a deserted ghost town. Years later, a group of brave explorers ventured into this desolate place to unravel the mystery of Assam village. Determined to trace the past and find the source of the curse, they set out to write the final chapter of this chilling tale. The history of Assam village was shrouded in darkness. The identity and origin of its first inhabitants remained unknown. All that was known was that a mysterious power had lingered on these lands for centuries. Some whispered that Assam was a sorcerer, while others claimed he was a demonic entity. Legend had it that Assam came to these lands to help the people. However, he succumbed to his power and was drawn into darkness. To appease Assam's spirit, the villagers held an annual festival. They sacrificed animals and sang songs in his name, believing it kept his anger at bay. But after Ali's curse, everything changed. Assam's fury reawakened, unleashing his wrath upon the village. Desperate to break free from the curse, the villagers consulted sorcerers, prayed fervently, but nothing worked. Assam's curse made the village unlivable. Bizarre occurrences and terrifying entities turned the villagers' lives into a living hell. At night, eerie noises and whispers emanated from the houses. Villagers reported seeing shadows outside their windows and feeling stalked by dark figures. Children were plagued by nightmares and horrifying hallucinations, some claiming to have seen Assam's spirit itself. Animals suffered too, many dying or vanishing mysteriously. Crops withered, yielding no harvest, pushing the villagers into hunger and despair. Nene Amin, one of the village elders, bore the brunt of the curse. Her grandchildren fell ill, unable to rise from their beds. Nene Amin spent her nights in prayer, singing lullabies to her ailing grandchildren, but nothing seemed to heal them. One night, a terrifying sound shook Nene Amin's house. It sounded like an animal clawing at the window. Trembling with fear, she rose from her bed and approached the window. Drawing back the curtains, she beheld a chilling sight. A creature with eyes like burning embers stared back at her from the darkness. Nene Amin screamed and collapsed to the ground. The villagers found her dead the next morning, her face frozen in terror. This incident further escalated the panic gripping the village. Fear gripped the villagers, and one by one, they packed their belongings and abandoned the village. Soon, Assam village became a desolate ghost town. Years passed, yet the chilling tale of Assam village persisted. The village's eerie atmosphere and the shadow of the curse echoed through the mountains. But determined to unravel the mystery and uncover the truth behind Assam village's curse, a group of brave researchers sprang into action. On a cold autumn morning, years later, the group set forth towards Assam village. The team consisted of a historian, a folklorist, a paranormal investigator, and a fearless mountaineer. They arrived at a village ravaged by years of neglect. Roofs of old houses had collapsed, windows shattered, and wild weeds had invaded the streets. Silence and emptiness prevailed. Consulting an old map, the historian identified their first destination, the ancient temple used for the village's festivals before its abandonment. The researchers decided to begin their search for the source of the curse at this temple. Deep in the forest, the temple stood in ruins. Inside, ancient murals on the walls and dust-covered statues seemed to belong to Asim's time. The folklorists studied the murals, providing the researchers with insights into Asim's story. Meanwhile, the paranormal investigators set up ghost hunting equipment, searching for any spiritual presence in the temple. The devices measuring the surrounding energy emitted strange noises. The investigator was certain they had found something, yet unsure of its nature. The mountaineer ascended the temple's roof to survey the surroundings. In the distance, he spotted a mysterious cave hidden among the mountains. Could this cave be linked to Asim's curse? Perhaps the answers they had been searching for lay hidden within that cave. However, the researchers remained oblivious to the dangers lurking ahead. The curse of Asim village had drawn them into an unsettling weight. After a challenging climb to reach the mysterious cave, the researchers hesitated at its entrance. Darkness and coldness emanated from within. None of them knew what they were about to face. Confrontation with Asim. The mountaineer led the way, venturing into the depths of the cave. The other researchers followed close behind. The cave was narrow and humid, filled with the sound of flapping bat wings and dripping water. After a while, torches appeared on the cave walls. Who had lit them? The researchers reached a chamber illuminated by the torches. In the center stood an altar made of black stone. On the altar stood a figure resembling Asim's image. The paranormal investigators' device started to shake violently. The energy around them had intensified. The researchers began to believe that the figure on the altar was a representation of Asim's spirit. The folklorist began to recite an ancient prayer to Asim. As the echoes of the prayers reverberated through the cave, the figure's eyes began to glow. Suddenly, the air in the chamber turned cold, and the shadows started to move. The researchers froze in fear. A voice came from behind them. "Why are you here?" The voice sounded like Asim's. They all turned around at once. Standing before them was an old man dressed in a black robe. His eyes burned with fury. "I am Asim," the old man said. "Why have you trespassed on my cursed land?" Trembling with fear, the researchers tried to explain to Asim why they were there. They told him they wanted to know the truth behind his curse and the mystery of Asim village. Asim glared at the researchers. "You want to learn the truth behind my curse," he said. "Then you must pay the price." Asim raised his hand, and the room began to darken. Strange noises emanated from the walls. The researchers realized that Asim was about to punish them. Just then, the mountaineer lunged at Asim from behind and knocked him to the ground. The other researchers seized the opportunity and subdued Asim. Asim lay on the ground, yelling in anger. "You will never escape the curse," he screamed. "The curse of Asim village will be with you forever." The researchers remained unfazed by Asim's words. They were determined to uncover the truth behind the curse. They continued their search deep within the cave. Finally, in the darkest corner of the cave, they found a hidden book. The book contained Asim's story and the source of the curse.